friends, and welcome to the first General Council of the Church. This council opened on the 20th of May 325 AD in the city of Nicaea. This city lies 60 miles away from Constantinople on the Asiatic shore of Bosphorus. This council was called during the papacy of Pope Sylvester, but the advanced age of the Pope made it impossible for him to be present at the council. So he sent two priests, Vitus and Vincent, to represent him at the council. There were 314 bishops which came from the following countries: Egypt, Palestine, Syria, Asia, Africa, Spain, Gaul, and Italy. It was a spectacle for the eyes of any beholder, because just 10 years before this time, Christians were on the run due to constant persecutions from different emperors. Some of the bishops that came for this council bore scars of torture. Some of them were lame, and some of them half blind. Many of them were living saints whose very shadow had cured some illness in that city. The main reason for the meeting of the church fathers was to find a solution to the disturbance in the church caused by a certain priest called Arius of Alexandria. This man's heretical doctrine on Christology is known as Arianism. Who is this man? Not going deep into his life, but to give us some basic information about Arius. He was born in the year 280 AD in the city of Alexandria, Egypt. When he was 20 years old, he went to the city of Antioch to join a school of a certain priest called Lucian. He went there with the intention to study sacred scripture, which he accomplished. Lucian's school at that time was a nursery for many future bishops. After his ordination to the priesthood, Arius returned to his city, Alexandria. He taught the following 4 points. First, the Son of God is not of one substance with the Father. Second, the Son of God is not equal to the Father. Third, the Son of God is not co-eternal with the Father. And fourth point, the Son of God is created and hence is not God. On the very first day of the council, when it opened, the teaching of Arius was examined, and when it was put into votes, 219 bishops voted for the condemnation and 22 for some review on some of his doctrines. Then began the tedious and drawn-out process of formulating the doctrine of Christology, which would in the future age give no room for the reoccurrence of this heresy. With firm determination, the church fathers who had gathered accomplished it. It was unanimously decided that there should be no word that has not come down from the apostolic tradition. Please remember that in the year 325 AD, the New Testament was still in the making. Hence, the church was working with apostolic tradition. 2 weeks later, after so much deliberation, the bishops presented to the emperor a draft of the creed. He was delighted. It was read and approved by all the participants of this council. The formula of this new creed is known as the Nicene Creed, part of which is used at Mass on Sunday. From the next century onwards, this creed will be found in the liturgy of the Mass and that of baptism. But there was a problem. When the fathers reached that part of the creed which said, consubstantial with the Father in English, consubstantialis patris in Latin, and homoousium toi patri in Greek, there were some disagreements and uncertainty on the very meaning of this term homoousium. Why? The reason was because this word was not found in the sacred scriptures. Hence, some of the church fathers were unwilling to add it to the creed, and the Arian historians had it that it was a brainwave of a deacon called Athanasius, who stood behind the bishop of Alexandria. This deacon will one day become bishop and fight against Arians. Till this present day, this word